Can't you see the tears roll down the street? The sky is crying. Can't you see the tears roll down the street? Well, I've been looking for my baby, and I wonder, where can she be? I saw my baby early one morning. She was walking on down the street. I saw my baby early one morning. She was walking on down the street. You know it hurt me so bad, y'all. It made my poor heart skip a beat. I've got a bad feeling. My baby don't love me no more. I've got a real bad feeling. My baby don't love me no more. Yeah, the sky is crying, yeah. Can't you see the tears roll down the road? All right.
You guys in the chat are absolutely brutal. Are you lip syncing or you remind me of Jada Kiss? You know, these guys are not even rapping, they're lip syncing. No, Sam, don't worry about it. I'm glad he was muted, by the way. I'm glad he was muted. And of course, yeah, had to play these blues. Big up Caveman. So anyway, guys, welcome back to the channel. First of all, like I was saying, Bitcoin is crying. Great song by, you know, that's one of the classics, by the way. Do love my music. And again, you know, big up to every single person here joining us on this live stream. Dump, and more fucking dump. Is there ever an end to this? And before that, I was just saying, guys, yeah, man, pray for Jamaica, man. Pray for Jamaica, of course. Got a lot of Jamaican friends back in London, a lot of Caribbean friends, a lot of them now in Dubai as well. And there's families affected, of course. Pray for everyone that's going to be on the path of this horrible weather system. You know, that's the stuff that's bigger than the charts, has to be said. And then moving on from that, all I was saying is good news after good news after good news. And we're still getting basically, we're just getting absolutely wrecked at the moment. This is a perfect cycle for these unregulated, you know, trade is basically leverage. That's, you know, they've understood the infinite money glitch. Send it up, send it down. At the start of the month, I highlighted 3 things that was going to be, you know, after my pretty negative 90-day crypto plan, going back to late July, early August. I published that for the community. I made a video about it saying that beyond August is going to be a trap. So all of that played out. But at some point, obviously, you're thinking, we've actually even gone as far as QE being announced, or not entered, but the announcement of the end of QT dumped the market. One of the other milestones for tariffs was US and China obviously signed this rare earth deal to postpone any tariffs for a year. The US has signed deals with many countries now. So the tariffs actually, you know, in terms of their kind of material importance to the inflation data, that is something that's going to be lingering. But you started to, like, you really are, I'm really questioning the ability for this industry to rally, in the sense that we know it's coming. Prior to then, it is absolutely brutal. And you know, you go right now, probably worst place to go is crypto Twitter, because crypto Twitter is a sentiment haven for all kinds of shit. And this is obviously, a lot of people are concerned. I'm not afraid, and I'm not concerned. Why? Because I know exactly how the liquidity cycle works, and especially after paying such importance to it over the last 8 months, ever since we got by Trump. Am I still muted, guys? He's saying the top listen. Let me know if you can hear me, guys. Let me know if you could hear me. You should be able to hear me now, surely, before I do a lot more of Pratik with a brutal one. 1 2 1 2, guys, loud and clear. And Caveman, let me know, because I want to try and get you in before it's too late on my end. Let me know when you get 10 15 minutes. You know, we'll talk about distracting, you know, a few different things as well. And yeah, it's dear God, the term bloodbath. It is. I mean, if you really think about it, we've been in this kind of bloodbath for a while. In my opinion, the bottom pretty much is most likely in, because of a few things, and I'll share that with you. Share some of these charts with you. So if you cut the noise, and you look at the total crypto market cap, and you start to look at where things are, So this is minus USDT. I love this chart because it's very, very clear in terms of where we are and where we need to be. And we're falling quite fast, right? So let me just get, okay, this chart. Total 3 minus USDT divided by BTC. This is more of an accurate picture of where the price is. We'll go through, let me just clear some of these historic joins. Let's go to the weekly. Guys, this is such a great indicator in terms of finding bottoms and tops within a crypto cycle. And I can tell you right now, I was celebrating the fact that we wicked down to this level on the infamous night of the crash. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you right now, we are bull market trigger levels. And these have happened every time. And I said, before we even got to here, I said, we never, without tapping this level, we never really trigger a bull market. We haven't done so back in 2017. If you look at this, right? So the fact that we are hovering around here without actually doing anything in the last, pretty much the last 4 years, this is the last one here in 2021. And this is the 2025 bull market. So this is, again, I repeat, for those of you who are outside of our Discord, this is the total market cap, or total 3 minus USDT divided by BTC. So this is the true value of your, I'm just reading some of your comments, man. Yeah, up and coming Chicago rapper. Rest in peace, Beizou, man. Chicago drill is mental, man. Send that's a place that needs to be that needs the National Guard. Anyway, let me continue. So this is 2017, right? 2017, we came to this level and we did madness. Like from here to the top of the run. I mean, this was an unbelievable move. This was a 5x, 5.5x to the top. It's actually maybe slightly more. Let me check. Yeah, slightly more here. Let me just measure that again. So this is what a bull market looks like, right? I know crypto's changed and it's probably a lot bigger now, but that's 433% move in the total 3. And then what happened? Obviously, we had a massive bear market, and then we tested this level again, and to the top in 2021. It was like a triple top there, but this is our 2021 double top. It moved up. It was actually it was bigger, and it moved by 481% from the lows. So the lows is slightly lower than 2017. And I'm expecting around that 400 to 500%, probably a 500% move from the bull market trigger here to just breaking a new all-time high in the total market cap. Now, how far we go up from the previous high, this is probably the most fundamental chart for you if you are in altcoins. Why? One, because you are at the lowest level. If you combine the total 3 market cap in the last 4 years, they've been in a massive downtrend, minus USDT, of course, against BTC. This is where we ended up. So if it's happened in 2017 and happened again in 2021, it's a formality. It's going to happen in 2026. You notice I skipped 2025. Because why? There's a very short period left till the 31st of December. And yeah, we may not actually see, because obviously we may get BTC all-time high. But now everything has shifted to 26, guys. And I'm not making this up. The liquidity cycle is suggesting that's exactly what's going to happen. So This chart is probably the most powerful in telling you whether you are buying altcoins at the right time. And again, any time in this downtrend here is quite important. Once we break out of this, descending channel, I think this is going to send pretty hard. And why do I believe that? Because of the macro picture that's taking place right now. Bit uncertain, but nevertheless, the macro picture has dramatically changed. And what we're seeing right now, no amount of good news is sending the charts. So when will you exit? That's a pretty good question. Well, my idea was to cut my losses or take my profits in 2025. It has been a grueling cycle, but we have to remain open-minded. Why? It's just because of what's happening right now in things aligning with the overall picture. Okay. Now, one thing I posted earlier today is that the BTC chart as well has some potential, I would say. All doom and gloom in the headlines, but let's have a look at BTC, and we'll probably go to USD. Let's go to Bitstamp. Okay. So yeah, this is something that I've kind of been looking at, and let me just clear these for everyone just to make it a little bit more clean. The idea that I had earlier today, right, because we are tapping a very important key line, right? Very important line here. Look at the dramatic drop, and we're still, 107. This yesterday, the sell-off and the rejection from this moving average here was pretty brutal. But let me show you something, right? Let's take the price data from this section alone, right? These daily candles. So perhaps I am holding on to the false hope here. But what happened was we bottomed here. We got a little bit of a pump, and this is not a strong price action. Now I wanted the high here, a high low, and unfortunately the RSI is already pretty, you can see there's massive liquidity here, order blocks. So I'm assuming the price is very much attracted to this level here. So my initial idea was, could we do something like this, right? Make a 3-touch here and form a trend line above 108. Even if we pull this back a little bit here, would have been around 110, 108. Of course, we've got a massive daily candle here. The daily candle hasn't closed. We still have 5 hours, and I believe my time here, 29 minutes for that daily candle to close. So there isn't any hope of this candle right now because of the RSI. However, the weekly looks pretty good now. So if you look at the weekly here, we have an RSI reading of 15, right? So we are definitely oversold, whereas a week ago, this picture here was way more bearish, in my opinion. And again, Bitcoin on the weekly, keeping above trend. And one other thing I would look at here, the shorter time frames, is probably the VWAP. So if we, let me see if I can just put the VWAP back on. If you look at this, I mean, it looks awful, right? From the announcement of the pivot to where we are. So, I am definitely kind of like not scared, not worried, but it is tiresome to say the least. Now let's look at a good old Russell 2000 here. And again, this is your overlap to the total 2 of the crypto market, right? So if you do this, let's take this to the weekly. When you see the Russell pulling back, which can actually pull back some more, it does actually go pretty much hand in hand with the total two of the crypto market. So 2021 peak, 2025 breakout, right? So if I just, again, remove my drawings just to make it a little bit clear for you guys, right? So this is what we're looking at for the Russell. And if I can just quickly show you how crazy it is with the total two, because a lot of these charts absolutely go hand in hand. So we haven't had a breakout of these two, the total two and the Russell 2000. Still, total two has fallen back to a level, I believe. You know, this is a very key level for continuation. Can we hold here? We don't. Again, ifs, buts, and maybe. But the RSI on the bigger time frame it looks beautiful. Okay. Alexis Sanchez in the building, man. Yo, jump, man. Plebs, what's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well, man. Yo, man, I need to get you on the channel, bro. Do let me know. Yeah, it's all red. You know, the t-shirt is red. I'm bleeding red. And I'm an Arsenal fan as well. What's going on, brother? I hope you're well. And we will talk about the exit in more detail as well. But what I'll do, Cave, do let me know if you're around, my brother. And a few of you here, we've got a big brother here coming. Yo, Cliff, what's good, my brother? Hope you're well. Are you wearing the colors tonight, bro? Might have to grab you guys to come up and we have a good chat. You, Cave, Pleb, Legends. Yeah, definitely, bro. Let me know when you're up for it. You know, I like to have an open forum, get some of the legends up. But this is where we are. This is where we are, guys. And a level here, to be fair, that the total two needs to kind of respect. And I reckon, listen, nobody knows what the future holds, right? Like nobody, especially in our beloved crypto industry. You've got friggin' everything here. This is Aptos. Stable coins are growing. We talk about that all the time. Will one time become a very good trade opportunity to the upside. Ethereum, again, look at that, spot on to that 50% level. I think it will come down some more. Interestingly, on the weekly, liquidity is crazy. But if you look at the order blocks here, there is an order block here for Bitcoin in the green. Ethereum around $2,800. And I think we will hit this 50% level again. The daily is completely falling on free fall. Sui, again, look at this. You know, everything right now, if you've been in some shorts since yesterday, you are definitely milking it today. And this, you know, this is a massive sell wall here. So the prices are likely to continue to come down some more. And of course, sometimes what you see with these order blocks is you've got a large kind of bearish area, and then you've got another wall here within a wall. So you can see that the darker red here. Listen, we are going to get some amazing opportunities. You know, this is the time to sell everything except the kids and the wife. Say at 17 cents again on the daily. This is insane, right? Now I'm thinking, is there a scenario where we'll close out the wick? I don't think so. That wick doesn't need to be filled. But to be honest, say needs to hold. I would say pretty much, I mean, again, you know, daily RSI has a long way to go, guys. I mean, you are seeing this. It's absolutely insane. This is a original price point and an area of massive support and resistance. Sorry, massive support. But you can see here right now, there's buys coming in, trying to hold. It's got to hold here. Say he's got to hold this level here, and he's got to hold it right now. Let's look at the 4 hours. Ouch. You know, this is a huge sell order here. This is mental. Like, you can see how the price got sent down. Again, you know, this bit of green here, you can see on the 4 hour, we could have a respite. The hourly is completely gone. Again, I'd expect price to perhaps maybe bounce from here on the short term. So it is a massive bloodbath out there, guys. Huge opportunities. Do not sell anything, and do what you can to, you know, dollar cost average into these kind of prices. Big indicator for meme coins here. You got Doge. Pump was actually doing okay. Pepe is absolutely cooked, right? Pepe here again. If Pepe comes to, what's this price here? That's a pretty strong price there, 53.95. But the king of the jungle is Bitensa Tau. Bitensa Tau is the king of the jungle, guys. Yeah, big up yourself, bro. I'll wait for about 25 minutes. Yeah, Cliff, let me know if you're around. Again, it's going to take a shower after 3 months. So wait. Oi, listen, you pussy, or don't be rude, you know. We do entertain your laughter here, but have some respect, mate. Caveman absolutely uses links Africa, uses links Atlantis. He's absolutely fresh and he showers, man. Have a bit more respect for people, yeah? Otherwise, you're out of here, bruv. Because you are funny, but, you know, at the same time, you're a bit on the edge, man. Yo, listen, let me drop you the, yeah, Cliff, if you're about, listen, let's get you over here. Let's invite you up. I like people having banter, bro, but come on, man, you know, calling somebody. Yeah, Sunday gonna flip bullish. You know, I feel you. Aero's holding super solid as well. Absolutely. I mean, Aerodrome, let's have a look at Aerodrome Finance. Aero is super backed, man. I mean, a lot of the Aero is actually is staked. But yeah, this is pretty good. But on the daily, if you look at what we're about to enter now, I can see Aerodrome falling to about 70 cents. But we are going to, listen, guys, the cycle will ultimately reward us, because I do believe that we've reached a point where crypto really, from a retail perspective, is the sentiment is at an all-time low. You know, it is absolutely at an all-time low. Bro said Virtuals protocol. Virtuals is holding up as well. It's one of the stronger ones. You can see this dip. Could we get a dip below $1? You see an order block here. RSI just crossed over falling, but that is that's a massive candle right there. Right? Got to, you know, this is the level where Aerodrome, I mean, look at this, you know, if we look at the weekly setup, this is what you have. This candle here, the volume has just been absolutely insane. And that came on the 20th of October. But if you look at the 4 hours, it does actually have some decent liquidity levels. But yeah, I will see finally a dip below $1 at this rate for Virtuals protocol. So let me go grab some of you guys here. Yo, Cliff, I've just dropped it for you, brother. Feel free to join me, and we can even form a panel, pleb, if you're around. Caveman will join us in about 25 minutes as well. Yeah, pretty good buy, bro. But I would wait below $1. What a legend. What an absolute legend. No, I appreciate you. I'm honestly, the Toshi bag is going to go to the moon. Listen, if you've got like say 5 or 10 cryptocurrencies, the chances are one of them, even at the very least, will do very well. You know? So yeah, let's get some perspective on the market, guys. I'm gonna be here tonight. Like I said, I took a copyright strike today to bring you some good jazz. And I think we could just look at the opportunities. Don't worry about the overall headlines. I think the headlines all of them have been in our favor. You know, you can't do more than this in this market. Before I bring on the next legend onto this live stream, a brother that has, been with us from day one, a project leader, somebody who's a builder. I just want to say, and it's Arsenal FC. We're by far, top of the league. Say we're top of the league. My brother, how are you, bro? Let me get
good, man.
Get your handsome face on here, man.
Well, I thought I'd go and get myself,
Listen, it's an Arsenal show tonight, right? At least we're on top of something. We're on top of the league.
Absolutely. So how you been anyways?
Great to see you, brother. You're looking absolutely healthy, and that's the most important thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing well, bro. I played football earlier today. I got out a couple of, I did a video. What else did I do today? I did 2 reports. Man, all good, Played with my daughter.
Nice.
And did the dad stuff as well. We've just been on also, I forgot to tell everyone, man, if you haven't got a Nintendo DS, you're not living life. Or a Nintendo Wii. If you're a classic, how you been, brother? How was the US?
The US was good. 3 weeks of a lot of work.
Wow.
Well, not all work, but a lot of work. So ended up having a good conversation. One of our people flew in to come see me while I was over in America. They flew in from Canada. They flew in for 1 day, had a meal with me, and flew back out again.
Shit.
So
not bad,
crazy. But yeah, that was a really good conversation. And then obviously I've been working, getting this new client onboarded, really big client. So it took 6 months just to onboard them. So
by the way, Cliff, if no one knew what the hell we were as a channel and they came across they just saw us for the first time, they'd be thinking this is AFTV, man. Listen, smash a like if you're an Arsenal fan, or even if you're a Premier League fan. Let us know what team you support. Bit of distraction, but we will continue with our crypto talk. So I wanted to, there's something that I think you and we spoke about a while ago, and everybody was talking about at the time, not necessarily in relation to your biggest holding, which is BTC. Right now, you got nothing to worry about. That's keeping the portfolio nice and steady.
It's certainly propping up the rest of my portfolio, put it that way.
Well, I wanted to ask you, bro, talk to me about, are you literally a threat to your own BTC bag with Quantum? What is going on in that field? Update us on.
Honestly, I have that conversation with so many people now, honest to God, we've actually had high level discussions about internally as well as with clients, the dangers of what we're doing actually poses for us. Right. So you are right. We are a bit of a danger to ourselves for sure, especially for my holdings. Right. But do you not think that, how it's very hard to get a consensus on Bitcoin, right? Because obviously there's so many miners out there, they have to get over a certain percentage before any changes can be made, right? Do you see a time where they might actually get a consensus on the network for an upgrade? Because I genuinely feel that might be the one time that they actually all agree that it's time to do an upgrade on Bitcoin.
Yeah, I agree with you.
If quantum becomes a real thing and a real threat, then they've got to act, because otherwise they're just going to see their holdings, their investments, and there's some big players in Bitcoin now. It's not like it used to be 10 years ago where it was very niche and, you know, it was more on the dark web and stuff like that. At that point, they could get consensus really easily because there might have only been 5,000 miners on the network. Now there's a hell of a lot more, you know, and we know this. How many big institutions are mining Bitcoin now? You got like at least 5 big ones that I know of that are mining it, and they're in the petahash range. Like, unless you've got like 50 to 100 units, you're not even going to make a dent in anything you do. Yeah.
I mean, you know what they like with the headlines, right?
Oh yeah.
The biggest risk to Bitcoin. And the thing is, I really also think about timelines, right? I mean, how long are we talking about?
Well,
in terms of
I mean, most things that I've read says within the next 10 years. I actually think we're probably closer to 3 to 5 years, given what I've seen from what we're doing, right? And obviously, new quantum processor comes out by the end of the year for Dynex, which is basically a quantum chip on a card that can go in any PC and give you ability to run quantum algorithms directly on your PCs, right?
Wow.
Once that's mainstream, things have got to change. It's one of the reasons why when we realized our Apollo chip, we had quite a lot of chips at the beginning that wouldn't meet our criteria. They were good, but they just didn't meet our criteria, right? Because we've got quite a strict criteria to meet for the processor. It's like the QPU itself. So of course, what we did was, instead of binning those and throwing them in the bin and wasting, you know, 100 grand's worth of R&D and development, we actually repurposed them into what is going to become a quantum encryption card. So everything you do can be routed through that card for quantum encryption and decryption.
Yeah,
you know, if you're going to break something, you might as well come with a solution to the problem as well. So that's what we've been working on. We just actually posted a couple of days ago a render of what the chip's going to look like. There you go.
So
that's one of the
Apollo chip, including hardware, casing, industrial design, further updates to follow.
That's the equivalent of 1,000 synthetic qubits worth of compute. It's more than 50 PCs strapped together.
So how big is it?
Size of a graphics card.
You know, I kid you not, I heard something. There's a scientist that I follow, and random stuff. You know, when you go into bed at night and you either watch murder cases.
Or you look at like big heavy conspiracy theories. I do love a good conspiracy theory. Just before I go to bed.
The Yorkshire Ripper again. It's on the list. And what else is on the list? Quantum computing. Well, in terms of like alien tech, if you want to put it to the extremes. Second World War. Telling you. So I came across. Man, I came across some madness. One guy was just saying how, and he's pretty respected anyway. He was like, look, do we not like NVIDIA or big graphic makers right now? Like, you know, there's technologies advancing. And I think a company made a breakthrough. And obviously this is an example. This is a graphics card with the power. How would you rate this in terms of the 50 PCs? So what are we looking at?
Well, to give you an idea, so this isn't a direct replacement for an all-purpose PC, right? It's not. But what it can work like is, and this is more for the older generation that might understand this, what used to be called a coprocessor, right? For us old guys that are still, you know, been around a while, there used to be a time where you used to actually have coprocessors, things that were designed specifically for a bunch of purposes that way outperformed the the CPU at the time. Think of it like that. It's a stepping stone for a bigger product down the road, for a start. Apollo is our dipping our toes in the water, so to speak, right? Manufacturing a new piece of technology comes with its own challenges. Like, legitimately, there's been things that I never thought I would have to learn in my life, but building hardware is a very different conversation than building software. So, you know, it took a bit of time.
Quickly play this, bro. Like, can I run this?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
I think that's just the
graphics.
The announcement for Paragon.
I saw.
So Paragon, if you didn't see, is Dynex's, I wouldn't say pivoting, evolving is probably the better word for it. We're going stock market.
Oh, shoot.
We're tying it, though, to a crypto. So it's going to be an actual securities token. So that's going to happen in the new year. Up until then, it's business as usual.
Right.
The benefit is nothing internally is changing. The staff isn't disappearing. All the staff have been retained. Obviously, if we're not going to be doing high levels amounts of crypto stuff, we'd be doing more stock stuff. But if you look at, you know, Dynex's competitors, right? Look at D-Wave, or you look at IBM, all of them are in the multi-billion-dollar range now.
Right.
And we think that the only way we're going to be able to get to that big level is obviously pushing the boundaries and looking at listing on a stock exchange. Wow. So that's what Paragon was announced for. Along with that was obviously Apollo and the encryption card. The big bit that's probably you know,
Dynex, the token will still be trading as a ERC20.
Yes, it'll be a securities token, though. Effectively, it'll be pivoted from its own chain to a securities token on Ethereum, by the looks of it, at the moment. Wow, that doesn't mean technically it couldn't be on Base or anything that's Ethereum compatible at that point.
So even the chain's up for grabs. Potentially.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're not giving anything away, bro. So I mean, in terms of liquidity, Base is nuts, man, because they support their builders.
Yeah.
You know, Base is basically the. I think if you guys move to Base, I think that will be mega bullish, in my opinion.
Well, we have to go with a network that's obviously rated for securities tokens, that brokers are obviously able to use. I don't know if Base is completely covered for that. I believe they might be now. But I know that Ethereum is where most of the tie-ups are with those platforms. So, but the amount of paperwork, the amount of backwards and forwards to lawyers and stuff that we've had to go and deal with, it's a lot of paperwork, man. It's a lot of paperwork.
So do you know? So you will have your own stock market ticker as well, and
that's the plan. That's the plan. Full stock market ticker. Now we're hoping to get the one we want. Obviously, I don't believe DNX is available.
No, it's there's one. Yeah, there's one
Dynex Semiconductors, I think, is DNX on the stock market.
Yeah. What about Dynex Capital? Does that link to you guys or?
No.
Wow. So we're gonna look out for that. And what is the plan for the token, like in terms of where we are now?
We haven't publicly announced what the whole process is yet, because obviously we have to be very careful what we're talking about right now, because influencing our own price of any kind right now comes with it's not going to be a crypto anymore, right? Comes with a certain amount of like legal punishment that comes with it now. So have to be a little bit careful. But ultimately, you know, I trust that Sumi and Daniela and our lawyers know what they're doing. Like, Daniela's run big businesses before. Sumi's been running big businesses for most of his life. You know, they're two people I trust to be able to get the job done and do it in a way that makes sure that, you know, that we do it right. So this is
the current leadership now of the business.
Sorry?
The current leadership of Dynex, the company.
Yeah. So that's Daniela, which is the lady on the left of that photo of the two people on the top right. Left-hand side is Daniela. She's obviously the co-founder. Sumi is our other guy who's you know, he's our mad scientist in the lab. He literally is, with a little bit of help from other people, myself included, he's done the majority of Apollo chip design himself. Like, the man is just, I thought I didn't sleep, right? But no, that man doesn't sleep at all, like at all. So yeah, it's really interesting. This is obviously something else we got coming up by the end of the year, which is our quantum diffusion large language model. I showed it off in March at Web3 Amsterdam. Fantastic demonstration. We weren't even supposed to be the biggest stand there. We actually ended up being the most busiest stand there.
Oh, really?
Probably did help that I brought a Lambo with me. But
oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I brought a Lambo with me. So I mean, that caught a lot of people's attention. I called in a favor from my UK company, so because I work with the car industry, so I just made a phone call and said I need to borrow a Lambo for 2 days, and they were like, "Yeah, sure. Where do you need it delivered?" Brilliant.
Shit, that was that was a great show. I got the pictures. I must admit, you know, I'm always slow on Discord replies, but I'm thinking about printing that Lambo and turn it into one of the artwork behind me. You know, just
honestly, one of 500 that Lambo was. It was beautiful. The color was amazing. Like, it was so vibrant, like orange, that I've never seen a color quite like it.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, I've never seen an orange quite that bright. Like, it was fluorescent orange.
Yeah, it's banging. I think I've got a picture of it somewhere.
Loud as hell as well. Absolutely loud as hell. And the best bit is the event organizers, Web3, they allowed us to actually fire that car up while everyone was in the room. Like, it was so loud that people were being deafened.
Right. It must have been running on quantum, bro. You never know in the future. Like, honestly,
we brought so much tech to show off there. I showed off a quantum chess program that I'd written, which I've been training on our network for maybe I don't know, a couple of months before we did the event. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I had a lot of people interested in that, playing against a quantum chess program. So that was trained like
diligent and hard, bro. Like, it's
yeah,
you know, when you're missing in the Discord, like we're like, where is he?
Yeah, usually it's because I'm busy up to something, usually. And then obviously I've got my auditing app that I've been, you know, working on the side about. That's getting a lot closer to being publicly released. That's actually really cool, because that will allow people to actually do auditing themselves, basically run a scan, audit a chain, audit a contract, audit a wallet. We've actually partnered with a brand new wallet that's coming out. So not only are we providing the security back end for it, and all of the auditing. Yeah.
So it's going to be quantum resistant wallet. Is that what we're saying? Or talk to me about that, man. That seems.
So this is more than just a partnership that we've worked on with this wallet company for just Dynex. This is also Yeti Audits. This is something that me and the owner, like the boss of the program, like he was adamant that he wanted to make his wallet unique in the way that it would have an auditing pathway built directly into the wallet. So at any point you can just go, I want to see an audit of this. And if it's already there, it's done. It'll show you it. If not, it'll book it in for an audit.
Oh my God.
So yeah, and then obviously all the quantum side of things for encryption layers for their keys. Yeah, it's something quite unique.
So can I ask you? I mean, for benefit of sorry, let me just get this. So let me ask you, for the benefit of everyone. I mean, listen, you may not be holding Dynex. That's cool, but
Sure.
I want you to take advantage, guys, of this man's knowledge. This man he's an authority on tech. Like, honestly, I'm not bigging up my friend or anything like that. I've known this guy for years now, and he's so knowledgeable. Most of the audience, obviously, now we're all, you know what it's like, right? We're all concerned with our shit coins,
Of course.
and we're depressed and all of that. But can you tell us about the real threats of quantum attacks on wallets?
Yeah.
Most
Yeah,
people
I
using
mean,
Belgium or Ledger, they haven't been
so a
hurt.
little bit of background first, obviously. So most encryption forms to date use an elliptical curve type algorithm to actually do its hashing, so to speak, to encrypt, right? Those algorithms have been around a while, right? But there's no, even though you could brute force a Bitcoin wallet, right, and you could use current hardware, the length of time it would currently take just doesn't make it viable, because you might have to wait 13, 14, 15, 16 months for you to brute force a single password on the Bitcoin network, right, with it. And that would be you having probably over $100,000 worth of equipment as well doing it, right? Now you start putting into the realm of what quantum brings, right? And that's not just us, that's IBM have got their own quantum computer, D-Wave has theirs, Google has theirs. You know, it won't be long before all the big power nations have their own quantum computers as well. I know the UK is in the process of building their own. The US is in the process of building their own for government use, not for civilian use. You know, it won't be long, right? And so think of it like this, right? If brute forcing on a CPU and GPU is let's look at it from a faucet, right? If you turn that faucet to like 1%, that's what brute forcing using a PC is like, using a GPU or a CPU, right? It's like having that tap open, just 1% is dripping. The chances of you hitting dead on the chance to stop that drip, for example, and hitting it exactly where it needs to stop, 1 in a billion fluke, right? That you could actually hit it bang on the money where you need it to be. Now imagine opening the floodgates with a quantum machine, right? And it doesn't need to sequentially check key after key after key. It can just do 500,000 keys all at 1 second, because it's able to just do it all at the same time. So wow. Then suddenly you're not looking at 2 years before you get a payout for brute forcing. You're looking at days, literally days. We ran a simulation, right, to understand just where our system was right now. Obviously that also links up with how we have our security on our network to stop people abusing the system, right? And IBM's even putting in something similar now. They've got their own ethical committee, just like Dynex has, because it won't be long before people start trying to use it, and then we will be in trouble.
Would you be able to, at some point, just share when it's up and ready for packaging? We'll help you gain some exposure. These are, by the way, guys, these are independent articles. You can find them everywhere. Yep. About the risk of wallets and implications.
Yeah. So I mean, if you want to, once I've got my prototype cards, if you want me to jump on and we can have a chat and I can show you what the card looks like and go over the card with you. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. We'll do a live stream, because I think that benefits everyone here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we can go over the basics, but we can also go quite down the rabbit hole, you know, of understanding how this works. But Like,
And will it be
legitimately,
a card?
yeah, it'll be like, so okay, the prototype version that I'm getting is going to be a bit bigger than just a card, right? Because it's one of our prototypes. But by the time we get it ready for retail, we're going to start shrinking it. So at the moment, for example, our, like, you know what the nanometer scale is on graphics cards, right? They're like down at like the 3 nanometer mark right now. Our first chip that we developed was 380 nanometer. So the chip was like this big, right? Because the way to validate that everything works as expected is to do it big first, because then you can make changes, then start shrinking it down. So by the time we finish, we'll be down at probably between 6 to 10 nanometer by the time we're fully ready for retail.
Damn, bro, I will definitely spread the word within the community, because one of my biggest concerns now with the ledger that I have and whatever Tangent and a few others that I use just to try and spread the risk. My biggest, like, the one thing that I lose sleep over is, you're trying to hand this stuff down to your
hardware
kids.
wallet gets hacked.
Yeah, and it's very likely.
Seen it. Like, we've seen it. We've seen it with Ledger. We've seen it with a number of different ones, right? And same with so-called super secure software versions of wallets. We've seen those get hacked.
100%.
Right? Like,
and
it's purely possible because it's still coded by a person that can make a mistake. And
shit, man,
you're
another sleepless night. Let's get this prototype and
yeah, I mean, honestly, it's the biggest for us. It's the biggest and proudest moment that we've got coming up. It's the card, right? So because that's the culmination of everything we've learned since day one, packaged on a card that anyone can buy.
And one thing as well, bro, like another thing that I, again, of course, with Mount Gox and all of the shit that you've been through to recover some of those early Bitcoin. I just sometimes think, imagine, you're at bed one night and, retail is likely to just diamond hand, like, especially if you're passing it to your kids. If you've got Bitcoin or whatever, just imagine, technology just moves on.
And, I mean, how much I've got in Bitcoin, right? So you can imagine that I have some sleepless nights when news breaks about bad things about Bitcoin, because I'm like, oh God, here we go. Like, yeah, I mean,
you're building.
the one thing though that we are looking at, and this is where the benefit will come. We're looking at potentially reaching out to wallet providers and saying, look, if you want to generate these kinds of things, you can generate them locally on your clusters and then effectively pipe that through to a hardware wallet on the fly. And then effectively, the only machine that could ever actually break that is the machine that generates it. Because to break a quantum encryption, you either need an even more powerful quantum machine or you need next-gen technology, which we don't even have yet. What's after quantum computers? Because that's what you're going to need.
Well, we won't be around by then, hopefully.
We're talking in the realms of like Star Trek at that point, right? Like talking science fiction at that point, because we're not going to be around for that. That's 100 years in the future.
Yeah, we'll be living on Mars using Mars tokens
to catch up.
Yeah,
like it took like 40, 50 years before encryption of the level like Bitcoin is even plausible to be broken now. Facts. I mean, I'm sure that governments have, super high-end supercomputers that nobody knows about that could probably do them if they did that. But what's the benefit to them, right? To a government, there's no real benefit. But now imagine if a hacker got hold of one of those type of machines, where it's like a big supercomputer, like one of the top in the world, and was, and it was tasked to do nefarious things. It's a crazy, worrying time for that. But ultimately, I'm not about looking at all the bad. I'm also looking about how can we stop the bad. That's why the quantum encryption card was something that we spent a lot of time working on. For us, it's a real achievement for us.
I want to ask you one question.
Yes.
Because right at the, like previously, if you remember, bro, like when we used to do live streams together,
Yep.
nobody was really interested in quantum computing in general. They didn't even understand it.
Amazing what 2 years change can do.
Exactly. That was my question. So are you being approached by more what I would consider large projects, miners? I mean, the with question with
Yeah.
with the potential threat. I mean, I would assume projects are talking to you right now saying,
yeah, I've had some really interesting conversations with some really large industry players around quantum encryption, quantum security, what it would take, how many of our cards would they need to be purchasing to protect their entire network of like 1 million devices. And we said it really depends, right? Because if their devices are all on site, right, so say they're in a big office block, then you would only need one card to protect the whole site, because it finishes the work so quick that you can fire 500 requests a second at it and it's not going to even bat an eyelid. It's just going to flinch for a millisecond and then carry on. And people get worried about the progression, but we're in that age right now where progression is every 6 months. Exactly. It's not like it was 20 years ago where progression was yearly. Like we're now talking 6 months or less.
Well, look how tight some of these breakthroughs are. Yep. Printing press, 1,000+ years. A few hundred years later, telescope, steam engine.
It's honestly, between. You want to see the progression. You want to see between the time of the microprocessor being developed, right, which is actually on there, right? Microprocessor, and man on the moon, right, and then go on from there. And you can see it's not a small rise; it's parabolic.
It's insane.
And it's not slowing down. So where's the stopping point? We all thought it would be quantum computers, but what if there's something that we can build beyond that? But we need quantum computers before we ever find out what we can build from it.
Well, there was that thing in Kent, the hydrogen collider.
Yep.
We could always, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, the UK has its own version of a miniature hadron collider. You're talking about the fusion reaction thing, aren't you? Where they were actually finally able to produce more power than they put into it. First time ever that we've ever done that with any form of energy, because it always takes more in than it puts out, right? That's what we've always understood as the way that energy is converted, right? You can't destroy anything. It's just converted into something else. So the fact that we were able to get it so that it now actually, and we're still talking seconds rather than any usable sort of amount here, but it's the right step in the right direction.
That's insane, man.
And once you do that opens the door for potentially cold fusion as well, which is the holy grail, where you smash two inert objects together that aren't radioactive and actually force them together so hard that effectively it creates fusion, or fission, sorry, not fusion, fission. And then that can be then obviously the same as what we do with nuclear reactors now. We just use hot fission at the moment. So that's why, you've got nuclear rods in a big bathtub, basically, because that heats up.
So basically, they can actually weaponize that as well.
Yeah, of course they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see quantum computers weaponized. I guarantee it, right? It's one of the reasons why there is already rules in Europe about which countries can and cannot access quantum technology. That's already a thing. We got that last year, 2024, beginning of 2024. There was a big edict that come around through Europe that said, here's the countries that cannot categorically have access to quantum machines. Because you think you could use a quantum CFD, or quantum computational fluid dynamics, right, and build a better ballistic missile. I can tell you which countries would benefit from that, and it's all countries that shouldn't. Yeah.
Wow, that is
Like
That's
Iran, for
ridiculous.
example, you wouldn't want Iran building a better, smarter nuclear bomb, would you? That would be dangerous, right? From a world perspective, right?
Well,
Or
I
North
wouldn't.
Korea
I'd probably
building a
say I
smarter,
wouldn't. I
better
wouldn't give
bomb.
it to the US because
Well, I mean, we've actually been very cautious with allowing any governments near our technology because we
it's
do
gonna
not
be
want
mad, isn't it?
we do not want. Well, I've always said I don't want no 3-letter agency tapping on my door for a conversation, right? Because it's going to happen one of these days. Either that, or I'm going to get pulled coming through customs when I'm flying between America and the
Well,
UK.
well, here's the thing. You're basically part of a larger community. So if they do that, man, we'll spam them.
Well, I mean, hey, if they want to have a conversation, I'm fully happy to have a conversation. You know, done nothing illegal, but like even the worry from, you know, potential bad actors, it's one of the reasons why we spent so long at Dynex getting the security aspects right. We have you know, job scanning. We can actually scan the job and determine what type of job you're running on our network, even without actually reading the job fully. So you still get your privacy. We just know straight away by the type of workload it's doing that it's doing something that it should or shouldn't be doing.
Well, look, I know you're a legend, so you answer questions. Like you don't duck anything.
No. I don't see the point in ducking questions. Like,
yeah, no, Alex is with.
Yeah. Actually, that's a real, like, Alex there makes a good point, right? That there are going to be people that are into Dynex that can't do stocks, right? They can't KYC because they're in a country that doesn't allow it, right? So something like India, for example, certain places in China can't do security tokens. Russia definitely can't. You know, and Dynex has a big Russian community, like a really big Russian community. So of course we don't want anyone to be sort of you know, left out. We actually want as many people possible, right? It's why we're looking at all alternatives to help with that. There might be some services that we could help get set up. They would have to be independent of Dynex because of legal reasons, but there is the potential to set up something for, you know, a brokerage kind of thing that would allow those people who can't KYC to still participate, right? We're not trying to do this to hurt people, but we do understand that, you know, there is going to be some price problems for the next couple of months while we're in the process of doing this, just because of the way that, you know, some people are categorically like, oh, well, it's crypto only and I'm only interested in crypto. So of course they're going to want to sell up. But actually, surprisingly, the general consensus is that most of our community are on board with it because they see the benefits. They see the benefits long term, right? We'll be in the same boat then as big quantum players, and ultimately that's where we should be if we're going to be getting the kind of valuation that we expect it to have. Right now, obviously, I can't guarantee what the price will be because that's outside of my remit, so to speak. But ultimately, you know, I want Dynex just to be where it should be, with a market cap that matches the rest of the industry. Like if you look at all the quantum tech, they're all in the multi-billion-dollar range. I'd be happy if Dynex was $1 billion. Never mind multi-billion dollars. Do you know what I mean? Because it would still be a very good investment.
Well, let me ask you another question. So, you know, recently you can trade a lot of the stock. You know, I think it's about up to 100 stock, and I can see where you guys are going with this strategy, because I think a lot of the current cryptocurrencies we know may end up floating in the stock market, because the stock market ultimately will be traded on chain 24/7.
Well, it's also slightly less volatile as well in stocks, because obviously there's regulation around it. So at most you're allowed is like, you know, I think a 20% bad day, I think, and then they basically halt your trading pair for the day to allow it to not go into free fall. There's certain levels of protection around it for not only for us as a business, but for other people, you know, investing. That's always handy. right? It's not like you put all your coins on a shady exchange, that exchange goes bump, and now you've lost all your tokens. Like it's a brokerage. They're under FCC regulations at that point. It's a very different prospect.
It's a different animal altogether.
Yeah. I mean, there are pros and cons to both sides of the equation, right? I can give you 5 for both, but I do think for what Dynex is trying, stock markets would probably work better for the business compared to some projects, right? If you're just trying to be the next payment solution, I don't see a stock market being any benefit to you as a business, right? But if you're breaking into a very niche industry that's only got like 5 or 6 players, they all rock up. They're all like, oh yeah, we're all Fortune 500 companies, and you go, yeah, we're a crypto company. You can see the conversation, how it starts, right? They just don't take us seriously at times. I've had conversations with IBM, right? People at IBM, and some of them take us really seriously. They're like, they've actually tried our software. They've actually tried some of their tech, right? But then you get the other ones that are like, no, we don't want anything to do with this because it's a crypto project. Well, so it gives the wrong impressions.
Well, here's crypto right now, and in particularly on Ondo Finance. And this is why I think in the next cycle, we're going to see tokenization to a level where we've never seen before. Like here's 100 stocks that we all know about trading on chain. And of course, you know, Dynex could be one of them. I mean, if you look at this, you go Nvidia,
well, you look, there's Nvidia, Amazon's on it. There's a few. There's D-Wave.
Yeah.
There's D-Wave's price. Look, 35.96. That's our direct competitor right now. Wow. So if Dynex was to go from what it is now, which is like 4 cents, to that, my investment has paid off massively.
That's insane.
That point. You know, that technically would make more money than even my Bitcoin made me. And you know how much I made on my Bitcoin. So you can understand the kind of levels that it's going to make me. It's crazy. Like, normally you only get one of those lucks, you know? Is that a caveman I'm hearing?
Yeah, we'd like to go into a short break. We have the legend on the line, the one and only Caveman. What's going on, Cave?
What's up, fellas?
How you doing, buddy?
Great to hear from you, man.
I was in earlier, and then all of a sudden, as I was about to hit enter studio, every one of my stop losses kept dinging and dinging and dinging, and I was trying to mitigate the loss, you know.
Damn, brother.
But this way, it was so bad. My Toshi stop loss got hit, and you know where I got it to Toshi at the bottom of that whip for the most part.
Unfucking believable, man.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, they wiped us out, man. They wiped us out. It's
I closed every other app. I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, you know what? Only one I kept open was KSEX because I had some trades going.
And you know what's funny, right? Prices are now going back up.
Of course they are. You know, because they stopped me out. They wick me, and then they're going to go right back up. That's exactly what happens every single time. It doesn't fail.
just so you know, brother, I can't believe your Toshi got stopped out, by the way.
Well, I had it to where it would stop with a little bit of profit. So, but still, yeah. Like I had my I don't even know if I could see it anymore. I'll tell you, hold on. You still hear me, huh?
It's bleeding out today, isn't it?
Oh, it's horrible. It's fucking horrible.
Oh yeah.
I didn't mean to curse. Sorry about that.
Okay. Look at this. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous.
Even the traditional ones that seem to be very stable are even bleeding out today.
Yeah.
Yeah. My towel got stopped out too.
Yep. Render.
The only thing I have left is the aerodrome trade that I'm still in a little bit of profit in.
Man, close the motherfucker, bro.
I got my stop loss at $1.57. I think that's what it is. I'm sorry, 91 cents. 91 cents.
I have noticed one commonality with all those bubbles. Most of those are proof of work.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Most of those are proof of work. XMR, Doge, Solana is proof of stake. You've got AVAX, ETC, HBAR, BCH.
Paxos as well.
They're all POW.
Damn.
So yeah, it looks like a lot of the POW ones got really hammered today.
Yeah, look at Cass here, man.
Yeah, 12%. That's rough.
That is rough.
That's rough for Cass.
The whole market is just
Oh yeah,
complete crap
Yeah.
right now.
I
Yeah,
think
I
on
mean-
average, it's yeah. Sorry, go ahead, bro.
I bet you, is the stock market still flying? I haven't even looked, but it's probably still going up.
yeah.
Well,
I think the stock market's leveled out today.
Makes no sense. I mean, it
Let's
makes
see
sense
it
to the level
earlier.
off, but it just makes no sense. It just keeps going and going.
Yeah, but you know, there's going to be one hell of a. There's going to be one hell of a.
Oh yeah.
reason.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
the bounce should be good.
Well, I'm talking about the crash for the stock market. Because I know, you know, I mean, I'm old and you know, I mean, I'm half a century old, you know, but
Okay,
a
I've got
lot
question
of
for you
these
then.
young people don't understand. You know, they only know market go up.
I've
they've
actually
never
got
seen
a
a-
really interesting question for everyone, like even in the chat. What do you think the Black Swan event that could kick off a next major cycle would be? Because you know the last one was obviously COVID, right? That kicked off a monster Black Swan event, which put us basically into, you know, bull territory. But do you see a catalyst for triggering
Yeah,
that?
I do. I think, and it's coming very soon. I think it's coming very soon. The housing market's going to tank even more than it is now. I truly believe that.
I mean,
That's
housing
actually-
market
that's
in
something
the
I'm
UK is
waiting
not
on.
that bad at the minute, actually. Housing market in America.
Oh yeah,
not
the
so
housing market
good.
here. I mean, we
Also,
we
good
have
for me,
banks
I'm
going
buying a
under
house over
every
there.
day. What's
It's
that?
good for me. I'm buying a house out there, so it's, you know, I've already, you know, dropped 20K off the asking price since I
Oh.
just started conversing with them about it.
Just wait a little bit longer. It'll be
Yeah,
even
That's what
lower.
I am doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on. I'm planning on, as soon as that happens, I plan on, because I have 2 rentals that are both completely paid off, and I plan on leveraging those all the way as much as I think I can grab 80% equity out of them,
Yep,
and I'm going to buy up everything that I can,
smart move.
because obviously this crypto thing is just kicking my damn ass. So I'm gonna go back to my first plan, real estate.
Nah, this is going to be the greatest. In
Oh
my
yeah, without a
opinion,
doubt,
anyway,
you're right.
This
Yep.
will be the time when we look back on and say, look, man, this is the entire look. If I clean this chart, this is the history of Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
Well, overlay it over, say, the Fortune 500 companies, and
Yeah,
it's like
if we
this much on their history. Like literally, it's like that much on their history block, because the Fortune 500 companies have had decades in that kind of market, right? So of course,
well, look at this. This is the S&P 500 on the monthly.
yeah, what's it up?
Yeah.
About 5%.
That is insane.
Fuck.
That's
Yeah,
fucking
I
crazy.
mean, look how far it goes back. You see what I mean? Like, it's mega amounts compared to Bitcoin.
This is 1871. And
Yep,
guess
there you go.
what? This was when the Dutch invented the stock market, right here. And the main traded raw material here was actually roses. And in fact, the English had a war with them, the War of the Roses.
Yes.
So what we're looking at is, if you look at our asset class, if you look at good old BTC here on a monthly, right? We are nothing, right? 2020, like, I mean, we can even go to charts that go back to the beginning of Bitcoin's. Let's go to, I think Bitstamp is the longest, right? BTC USD.
My question is, in 50, 60 years, they're going to be calling, you know, Bitcoin the gold rock. You know what I'm talking about? I wonder what the new asset's going to be in 50, 60 years. They're going to be they're going to be saying, you know, the boomers are holding Bitcoin.
This is it, bro. This is Bitcoin's longest ever chart. 2012 compared to 1871. for the stock market. But yeah, you're right. I wanted to ask you, actually, Cave, what's going on with the today we had the China deal, bro? What's the situation with where do you think this game is being played out? Because for me, I'm seeing all these bullish stocks line up, and yet the price of assets and everything else is just absolutely tanking to a level that,
if my info is correct, I saw something today. Somebody sent me something that Binance is dropping like 2,000 Bitcoin every hour or two on the market. They're selling like every hour or so. They're selling 2,000 Bitcoin. I don't know how to. You know me. I don't know how to check it.
Do you know how much you saw the red wick, right? You saw the red wick earlier on Bitcoin, right? Like, do you know how much, like, price-wise, like how much money we're talking about to move that wick that big on Bitcoin?
A lot.
Like, you're talking mega money.
Like 2,000 Bitcoin an hour.
Like, honestly, even my holdings, which are fairly substantial, right? Like, because I got in nice and early, right? Even mine wouldn't move that much. Not even close.
If I remember correctly, you bought it as a meme coin.
Well, originally it started off as a bit of a shot in the dark. I mean, I bought one of the very first Bitcoin ASICs. Well, I actually had 5 of them. You know, I was running it in a little tiny apartment on free electric. I mined a lot. There you go. I almost dropped myself in it then and told you how much I mined them for a minute. That wouldn't have been good. But, you know, I've even increased my holdings over the last 12 months, actually, since me and DXB were chatting about it. Like, I dropped a message to DXB at the beginning of the year saying, what do you think about this idea? And do you remember that conversation we had? We had about half-hour conversation back and forwards about whether I should flip some of my older coins that I've been sitting on for years into something else and take it out in Bitcoin. And yeah, I took a lot of that idea and ran with it. I managed to add an extra 3 figures on top of my Bitcoin holdings over the last 12 months. So yeah, which is good.
Yeah, I stated it the entire way. My oldest, I think I told this story before, my oldest son was begging me to buy Bitcoin. It was like $462, begging me to buy it.
I was begging my friends at like $80 to buy into Bitcoin, and they all called me crazy. Yeah, now, none of them call me crazy, funnily enough.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course not. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that works. Same thing with, I remember seeing Ethereum at like 28 cents.
Yeah, I got in the first ever Ethereum I bought was when it was $16.
First ever Ethereum I bought on the COVID dip at, what was it, 122, I think.
My first ever real problem one of where I went and overbought and went way too in the hole with it was Shiba. I made my money back eventually, but I had to wait a long time to get my money back out of that.
Oh,
that was my first ever meme coin and my last ever meme coin.
Right.
I went way too in the hole with that one and almost got burned.
So guys, when do you think the government shutdown is going to end? Beeps is asking, who's been in the stock market for 30 years. Congratulations, man.
One. I mean, Trump's holding his line firm at what it's going to take to reopen government.
There's only one thing. There's only one thing that they want. They want to stop giving all this free stuff to all the illegals. Correct. That's it. That's the only thing they want.
That's the only thing.
Democrats will not do it. Yeah.
It's the only thing holding it up.
Yeah, that's it. They said he said y'all can have everything else.
Yep.
That's got to stop.
Except illegal immigrants and getting the money.
Right. And they said no.
Well, that's basically what they reappointed him for. Was that exact statement.
Right. So and I personally, I don't think he's doing. Look, I don't think he's doing a good enough job. I think he needs to do. I think he needs to go harder.
He needs to go hard in it.
Yeah, I really do. Because I mean, think about this. We have. My hospitalization is not free. I mean, I pay a lot of money for it, but my taxes are paying for theirs. How is that even remotely fair?
Although I live in a country where we've got national health, and that's what our taxes pay for, is the National Health Service. So even though it's free, it's technically not, because it's took out of our wages before we even get our wages.
Exactly. Nothing is
so. But even though it is free, technically, but you know,
how do you balance this then? So this is where I have a problem. I'm not a US
This is stupid. No, you're right. I know. This doesn't make any sense.
Right,
the only thing I can think of is there's some kind of backhand deal going on. That's the only thing I could think of.
Well, it could be for minerals. It could be because Argentina is rich in immense minerals. So that could be one way.
Yeah, I mean, DXB, we're both British. Argentina won't like us at all. You know how it is with Argentina and the Brits.
Oh, Falklands, yeah.
It's bad. It's really bad.
The Belgrano,
like if you're British, you're actually recommended not to go to Argentina.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, like because of the Falklands.
Yeah, man.
Like every time they put it up to a vote, the Falklands say nope, we're staying part of the British colonies because
isn't that where supposedly Hitler ran off to?
Sorry.
Didn't Hitler run off to Argentina?
Hitler went to Argentina, yeah, but the Falklands,
that's what I thought.
The reason why Argentina want Falklands back is because there's a big ginormous NATO base on it.
Right. Well,
other than that, there's no benefit to having it.
Right.
Well, who are you going to fight then? I mean, for me, the obvious challenge of putting a NATO base there is to go and do a few airstrikes on these guys.
Look, man, NATO needs to be abolished. Period.
It's full of penguins, bro.
Well, you keep it quiet. They might get mad. I mean, we got a senator named Jerry Nadler who kind of walks like a penguin. Might make some Republicans mad and might want to go bomb him. You never know.
No, I mean, you know, you knew that Trump would look at the South Americas for business opportunities, right? It's one of the biggest untapped markets along with Africa, to be fair.
And China is taking over Africa like crazy. China is going after Africa big time.
You know, with all the rare minerals that, you know, computer parts in just taking from example, right? Computer parts, never mind all the other industries, but like just computer parts alone, the rare earth minerals that they require for processors, graphics cards, silicon chips, you know, go into those countries could really change those countries' lives, right? Like that's probably why Argentina accepted the offer, because the money that the US are proposing to them is mega money to them. Like, it's like the equivalent of their GDP times 5.
Correct. Well, I mean, if you look at it, if I'm correct, isn't Argentina's where they have the back door? Like, if you want to go exchange your money, you don't go to the bank because they screw you. You got to go to you got to go get let into this little apartment building, and they got a little slide. They slide open this little metal door.
Yeah,
you give them your money.
Places like that are over in South America like that. It's because of the inflation problem that they were having, right? They were in hyperinflation, so it's actually better to go not to a bank but a backstreet dealer who give you a better rate.
Correct.
And then obviously, you know, that's where you go down to somewhere like, you know, anywhere in South America and that's dealing with hyperinflation, and a cup of coffee is like $5. Like for a small cup of like espresso, you're not talking like Starbucks level. It's like Starbucks times 5.
Well, see, that's the whole problem. Living, you know, and we all do it. We all live in a debt-based economy. There's no other thing they can do but print more money. That is the only thing they can do. There's no other weapon in the arsenal. Raise rates, drop rate. That makes no difference. Either way, they got to print money.
Yep.
And I say this all the time. The only reason that they keep saying, no, we're $37 trillion in debt. We got to pay the debt back, is because they want us to believe they actually plan on paying it back. They never planned on paying it back from day one, ever. And they never will pay it back.
Most of the money now is moved digitally. It's not
correct.
It's not like it used to be.
They will deflate. I don't even think this inflation, I think that's all a farce. It's all devaluation. They will devalue every fiat currency to complete zero. And I think that's what they're about to start doing now in order to bring in the new system. And unfortunately, in the UK, looks like a CBDC is coming, which is really not good. But if you look at it in this term, an actual stable coin could technically it's almost like a CBDC. Almost. It's not quite, but it's almost there. So I mean, either way, we're all
USDT
screwed.
was ran by the government, USDT would be a CBDC.
It will be,
Well, Well,
Straight away,
that's-
it would be. It's
okay.
only because it's ran by a third party. It isn't classified as a CBDC.
So okay, so that was my entire theory.
Yeah.
I want to say what maybe I had a conversation with you, D. We were talking, and I was saying that the only reason that the Genius Act passed is because they could not sell our bonds. They couldn't sell them. Nobody. They had that auction. Nobody bought them, and that's when they said, you know what? Let's just call it the Genius Act because it's a genius idea. We'll make Circle and Tether buy all these bonds because they have to in order to have them backed by the dollar.
Yep.
And then we'll sell the bonds. And then what's going to happen next is the Treasury is going to turn around and they're going to start buying the bonds back from the Fed, however that works. I don't know which one does what, but it's going to go to that big super doom loop, whatever. I know there's a name for it, but you're just going to be paying one credit card with another. And then the next month, pay that credit card with the other credit card. Until there's nothing left to do. And then they're going to usher in the new system, whatever that may be. Hopefully it is Bitcoin. But
well, we were talking. I did a post today, Cave, if you remember, and one of the things I put in there was this basically idea that all currencies eventually die.
Yep.
So if you look at this, all reserve
and the dollar is the
currencies-
longest one so far.
and the dollar
oldest
here,
one.
look, Portugal 80 years, France 95, US dollar now, Britain 105, US dollar is actually in current since
Britain's still one of the
1944.
oldest currencies, the sterling.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah,
don't
that's,
forget, even America for a while used sterling.
Yeah. Obviously, we don't want to remind
when it was
Cave
a
of
colony
that.
of
but-
ours, when it was a colony of Britain, it was using sterling.
Well, this
as
is
its
why I think
currency.
people now, we may think Bitcoin is expensive or whatever, but once you obviously make enough money with shitcoins, I think we owe it to our children to take part.
I mean, I
in
always
that.
tell people this, right? If you're going to get into doing shitcoins, altcoins, all of those meme coins and everything, take a safer play as well. Don't just all play just danger. Like play a bit that's safe,
Safety,
right?
yeah.
DCA a little bit into Bitcoin, something that's relatively stable. I'd even say Litecoin's not a bad bet either at the moment. It's quite affordable.
I think Litecoin's going over $1,000.
Like it's very affordable right now. I think it's just around the $100 mark.
Yep.
So I
something
mean,
like
it's very affordable, and Litecoin's been around just as long as Bitcoin. Actually,
It's
if
the
you
first
wanna know
fork of Bitcoin, if I'm
something
correct,
funny,
right? Isn't it?
well, you've heard of the Bitcoin Lightning Network, right?
Yeah, that's
That
absolutely
came from Litecoin.
facts.
That came
That
from
I didn't
Litecoin.
know.
Like it was built for Litecoin and then adapted because it was compatible for Bitcoin.
For
To make
Bitcoin, yeah.
transactions go quicker. So I mean, I look at all of the big ones, right? Ethereum, not so much these days, although probably you'll have to get back into Ethereum a bit more, just because of obviously Dynex going to a stock market tied to a crypto, a listed asset. So I mean, at that point, I probably will get back into Ethereum on that side, but I'd really got rid of my Ethereum. I don't think that they personally should have gone away from proof of work. They had one of the largest networks going.
That was
Correct.
They basically screwed themselves. Although
Yes.
you can't say that they didn't warn us about Ethereum. From day one, it was always planned to go proof of stake. It just took 5 years longer than expected.
well. Today's definitely Bloody Sunday, man.
Oh yeah,
This
100%.
is
It's horrible. I don't even want to look
today's
anymore.
absolutely. I looked at my portfolio today and I was like, you know what? You're doing this for many years, but boy, oh boy,
Oh yeah, I
you
did.
are-
To be fair, I haven't even opened my portfolio today. I don't want to see how many digits it is down because it's going to
it's
be
ridiculous.
above 7 figures that I'm going to be down today.
It's funny, right? How these things work. So Zcash is the strongest cryptocurrency in the market.
Yeah, they had a
Right.
massive pump, Zcash.
Yeah.
Yep.
Massive.
It would have been a hell of a trade. I mean, that was sitting around nowhere for.
I caught it. I caught the trade at around, I think I got in, it was like 84, and I wrote it up. And then, unfortunately, my dumb ass forgot about it, and I wrote it back down. And,
I think there's
and,
a huge
and I lost $150.
I think there's a massive potential for this.
Zcash was the very first CK proof network.
Right. And you know what's funny, right? The main trade for me is Near Protocol.
Yeah. Near actually has loads of projects on their platform. It's actually quite surprising.
If people look at Near
is as busy as Ethereum at times for their network.
It just can't go up.
No,
like money wise. I don't understand why. It just can't go up
for years.
Yeah.
But I think what's going to happen with Near, guys, is classic, right? So look at the ecosystem, largely led by Zcash, right?
Yeah.
Now the problem for Near Protocol was staking. That was their number one problem. Like you couldn't stake on there. They've actually got a DeFi project now that allows you to stake. So I'm not even talking about spot. I think they do well in spot, and I'm a massive fan of Tau, which is very similar in terms of.
I did see yesterday a few people talking about wanting to hear your views on Casper. See, now I've got a unique experience with Casper because I know quite a few of the people at Casper. I've actually met them in person. So, that's going to be an interesting one. Like their DeFi platform, their layer 2 that they're working on, like they're not messing around with, like, it's not going to be the whole like Casplex, like KRC20 tokens fiasco that they had.
Yeah.
I mean, that was terrible launch. Like that was really bad.
Oh, dude. Yes, it was.
In the grand scheme of things. But their layer 2, proper layer 2 with their DeFi platforms, like if they hit the nail on the head like they did with their 10 blocks a second kind of thing, and they took their time with that 10 blocks a second to get it right. If they take their time and get that right, could be the biggest competitor to Ethereum out there by the time it finishes.
Wow.
In my view.
That's a bold statement.
Like, I've talked to a lot of them, and like I've never heard a project like group be so like pumped for what's coming with them. Like, and I don't have a lot of skin in the game with Casper. I've got a bag. I've been sitting on it for a while, but
you've had it from 2022, I think, from inception, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, first couple of weeks I was on Casper as soon as it main netted. But I saw the presentation for Casper layer 2s, like proper native layer 2, and it looks really promising. I just hope they don't screw it up.
That would be incredible. I mean, getting away from Casplex, because now officially Casplex is saying they are the official layer 2 for.
Yeah, but I've seen the proposal that they put out there for a proper EVM compatible layer 2. So that would mean that Ethereum projects could take their contracts and just move them immediately, and that would be it, done. Think of how many projects, especially DeFi platforms, right, that could benefit from 10 blocks a second.
That would be incredible.
Like DeFi suddenly opens the door to DeFi being like seriously to the point where you could actually use it as currency, both the L1 and L2s, which is fascinating.
Okay. Well, that's going to be insane. I mean, I do have a nice bag of Casper, to be honest. I've been.
Yeah, I know you've got a decent sized bag.
Fuck, I've been in it forever,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure that there's been a few moments where you've thought, "Do I need to get myself out of this? Like, do I just sit on it and forget about it?" I mean,
to be fair, I
can see a lot of parallels with Casper, though, as what happened with Bitcoin.
Right.
There was a lot of internal strife, like people internally to Bitcoin that caused problems early days, and Casper's had the same, right? We've seen it like publicly blow up between some of the you know, people that worked on Casper very early. Like best person I can give you an example of is Shay.
Is Shay
Right,
still
Shay-
there?
No,
'Cause
Shay
he's
is
gone.
left.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Shay is
He,
left.
he was the one screwing everything up.
Yeah, he
Sorry,
went
guys, give me 1
nuclear.
minute.
Unfortunately, going nuclear is never good
No, take it from me. I know.
at all. Like nuclear option is
I mean,
not
you're
good.
talking to the guy who got banned from YouTube, and I don't even have a channel. So,
Yep.
you know it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think once Casper really gets to the nitty gritty where it's got, you know, its full potential, which is, I believe, 100 blocks a second is what they want to get to. Right, when they get to 100 blocks a second, they're going to be faster than any current payment transaction system out there, like massive. So it's a fascinating one for Casper. It's just, please God, let them make sure they do it right. I really hope so.
It's something that we should just, no matter what.
Talented.
So that's something that we should, no matter what, keep a little small bag of and just keep it on the side.
I mean, I put a small bag aside and have just forgotten about it, you know, like just completely and utterly forgotten about it. So, you know, I mean, there's some quite interesting projects that I've been keeping my eye on recently, mostly in proof of work rather than, you know, proof of stake or anything like that. But, you know, there's been some really interesting ones that are coming out lately. Obviously there's that quantum BTC that I've been keeping an eye on. That shows promise, because that's potentially where Bitcoin could take itself, right? It's Bitcoin using quantum based algorithms to protect itself, right? So it's proper quantum resistance at that point. So of course I'd like them to succeed, because that could potentially give Bitcoin an option down the road to implement without having to do all the work, because somebody else has already done that work for them. It's like how they adopted the Lightning Network. They didn't do any of the work. They were able to adopt Lightning Network pretty fast.
And just use it.
And just be able to use it, because it's compatible with, because Litecoin is built from Bitcoin, fundamentally.
Actually, I got a couple ideas. I'm later on, or maybe even tomorrow, I'm gonna actually give you a ring. Got a couple things I want to bounce off of you.
Sure. I mean, obviously, you know that I keep my ear to the ground as much as I possibly can these days for new projects. There's another one in the pipe work that I've heard about that should be going mainnet within the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, I've been looking at a couple myself, and that's what I actually I'm gonna give you a ring on it. I don't want to say it on here because
sure.
Every time I tend to put something out, it'll do good, and then it just
everyone eats it up, and then
then
you're left
right, and I'm like, what the fuck? All the time.
Yeah.
It's almost better to, like, if you find something that's good, just buy it and not tell anybody about it.
I did that with Tau. I didn't talk about Tau for like over a year. I got into Tau really early. But then I sort of got out of it because I was struggling to really get my head around how they were going to commercialize their network. They've come out since and actually been a bit more transparent on how their business model is going to be done. But like Tau's a unique perspective. Like, it's not your traditional crypto project, Tau, because of the way that they link everything together. It's quite unique with their subnets. But you know, that it's another thing, isn't it? Like, you know, like anything, the best way is not to be the same in that regard, right? I'd rather be different than everyone else, because it means you're thinking about other prospects, right? Like doing payments has pretty much been cracked by crypto, right? Because ever since Bitcoin did the first transaction, proof is right there, right? It's only been getting quicker. Casper is the direct proof of that. It's Bitcoin on steroids and pumped up to 11, right, with the speed. So of course, you know, how long before we see other things play catch up? You know, we see Cubic's doing a whole different kind of thing, right, where they're mining other protocols and then putting that back into their protocol to pay their miners. Fascinating.
Cubic's actually, that's cubic is really, it's very interesting.
It's a
Very.
fascinating concept.
Yeah.
Like, although their founder is a, let's say, unique individual. I don't know if you've ever met CKB.
No.
He is a very unique individual. Talented, don't get me wrong, very talented. Very unique, though. Very
Right.
unique. Although I've noticed that, like with a lot of projects, you do get quite the eccentric, like, people part of projects, and some of them are more eccentric than others, you know. So
Well, some of them also have better ideas than others too, you know. So
there's somebody asking in the chat about thoughts on CKB, Nervos Network. I've never really got into CKB, but I know a few people that have been mining CKB for years at this point.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, CKB is it's a proof of work network. They say it's quantum resistant, but I've never seen anything to prove or disprove that they are. This is the big thing about quantum resistance, right? Everyone who says
everybody says they are, but nobody's been tested yet.
Nobody's
so how do
been
they
able
even
to
know?
test it. Although
Correct.
I have quite openly offered to test networks for them.
And they
get
say
a
no.
little bit worried when I offer our services to do that, because they're like, oh, but then if you find something, you're going to divulge it. And I'm like, no, we'll give you time to fix it, and then we'll divulge it, like you should do, right? Because that's how proper, like, development should be done. We find a bug, then we tell them, and then we don't disclose it till, you know, a certain amount of time afterwards. That's the right way to do it, so that you don't endanger a network, basically. But yeah, CKB is interesting, and if they say they're quantum resistant, I would always be erring on the side of caution with any network that says quantum resistant, because so far I don't think anyone who said they're quantum resistant has ever checked it truly on a quantum machine. So how can you say you are if you've never tried it?
Exactly.
So yeah.
The only thing that I know that's 100% quantum resistant,
Yep,
is sticks and stones.
well, I
Coming
mean,
from a caveman.
yes, sticks and stones technically are quantum resistant. I agree. You know, a stone and
You just can't do much. You can't do much with them. Though. That's the problem.
But yeah, I mean, that's quite a unique way of looking at it, caveman. That is a very unique way of looking at it. but no,
unique.
I'm gonna go break out my old Commodore 64.
Yeah. I mean, I would say an abacus, but you know, some people might not even know in the chat, might not even understand what an abacus is.
I know what it is. I could never use it though.
But
Too many moving parts.
too many moving parts.
Guys, I'm going to ask you something quite off topic.
Sure.
This is kind of weird. Like, my pivot here is not meant to be. Where is, and I know Cave's going to love this question, but where's this plane? Where's this Malaysian plane, guys?
Are you talking about the one that they showed the 3 orbs flying around and it just disappeared?
You're talking about flight MH370 or whatever it is, right? Or is that another one that's gone missing?
No, that one.
No, this is the one that when they had the infrared, it shows the 3 orbs circling it, and all of a sudden it just disappeared.
Yeah, it just ups and disappeared. They reckon it went down in the Indian Ocean somewhere, don't they?
Right,
originally?
but never found a piece of it.
No. Well, it's one of the few places on the planet where we haven't really done a lot of research down there. Like,
yeah, but it's also kind of funny how they never found any plane parts.
No,
by
well,
the Twin Towers either.
They found some bits of the wing on
weird.
Where is it? Madagascar. It floated along all the way up to Madagascar.
But it's funny because that's the flight radar that they had at the time of the.
They reckon that it did a full U-turn somewhere between the point of handover. So between Malaysia and Vietnam handoff, there's a patch where there's like 5 minutes of where neither one of them technically can communicate with them, and that's where they believe that they turned the plane around and made it disappear. because that's where they
Yeah.
originally thought it went down.
Well,
Because
let me-
obviously
let
they
me-
follow the line and go, oh, well, we lost communication here where it must have gone down here. The problem is,
let me ask y'all a
they now
question.
know that it didn't go down there.
Do y'all remember quite a few months ago when, I don't know the guy's name, he did a press conference and he said that the government has technology to teleport?
Hmm.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
I've
I watched the
heard a few
documentary.
rumors of teleportation, but
I think it's bullshit.
the problem is the power requirements to do it, and also the technology that we have currently, I don't think can do it yet. There's quantum teleportation, which is something quite different. It's not quite the same as what people think. It's not like Star Trek where you push a button and 1 minute you're on on a starship and next minute you're down on a planet. Quantum teleportation is very different. That's where you're linking. You're effectively putting two identical atoms in a state of connection, quantum entangled, basically it's called. And then what you could do in theory, and this is where it's theory right now, but you would transfer all the information from this side to this side, which would be near instantaneous, right? And then you would destroy the original and only have the one left over, which would then allow you to do a full teleport. We're still away.
I think that stuff is crazy.
Still a way away from that, yeah.
I got a question for you, Cliff.
Go on then.
All right. So I know you know what CERN is.
Yeah.
Since it seems like we're going to go down some rabbit holes. Okay.
Yep.
So DXC knows where I'm going with this one. All right. So remember, what was it, 2012, when they said they were looking for the God particle or whatnot,
Yep.
and then the scientists who are now dead said
Yep.
that they think they opened the door to another dimension, right?
Yep.
Okay. My theory, now this is from a caveman, but my theory is, because if you think about it, around 2012, that's kind of when the world started turning backwards. So what if they didn't open a portal to another world? What if they swapped us with another reality?
I mean,
because up
so
until
we're
then,
gonna get
boys were
we're gonna
boys,
get a bit
girls were
into-
girls, and now
so
it doesn't matter.
we're gonna probably touch a little bit on string theory here and a few other
And the multiverse,
high-level
yes.
physics stuff. But yes, multiverse is
Mhm.
something that there's no actual definitive proof yet. We're still a little bit away from being able to prove it, but
Right? But there's no proof it doesn't exist.
theoretically, the math works out that we're in a multiverse. So for every action that you ever do and choose, there would also be the opposite of what you chose as well.
Correct.
So if you did something positive, then effectively in a multiverse, there is an area in that multiverse where you chose the other option.
So who
Right.
remembers those books when you were a kid? You would read the book, and then it would say, if you're going to take the road to the left, turn to page 50. If you're going to take the road to the
they're like, you're talking about like old school interactive type.
yes. So,
that had
but it's technically the
multiple,
same. It's
like,
technically the
basically
same thing.
multiple, endings effectively
Yes.
in one book. Yes.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's kind of what I was getting at. So what if we just swapped with a different reality?
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Like, there's nothing to say that couldn't happen in all of our physics and our understanding of science at the moment. There is technically nothing to say that couldn't be a fact. Or there's also the other one, which is really interesting. That, you've got people who are adamant that we're living in effectively our own version of a simulation. Right? There's some interesting, like, that's a rabbit hole to drop down. Like, that's a rabbit hole to drop down.
Yes, it is.
But
I've tried.
That's for
the
another
thing
day.
is,
I almost couldn't get out of that
disprove it.
hole. I tried.
There's no evidence to disprove it, though. That's the thing, right? Because
Right.
we don't have the understanding to disprove it. But then I suppose it took us 50 years to prove the last of Einstein's theories. So could it mean that we have to just wait 50 years before somebody proves or disproves it?
Well, here's I don't normally go too deep into these things, but Here's what I genuinely believe. I believe there's technology that we don't know about yet. That,
Oh,
of
100%.
course, governments have.
100%.
I believe we never went to the moon.
I don't either.
See, the
believe
moon,
9/11
the
was an
moon's a bit of a
inside
weird
job.
one because, like, to fake the moon landing would have been just as complex back then as actually sending someone to the moon.
No,
But
right.
how stupid would they have to be like, oh, well, yeah, we lost the technology. We don't have it anymore.
Well, they didn't lose the technology; they just got more cautious. Don't forget when America went to the moon, they were in a space race with Russia, right? They threw everything at it. They didn't care about regulations back then. They were launching even if they didn't have authorization to launch stuff, right?
Okay, but then you got the astronauts who lived forever. You know, not forever. You know what I'm saying? They're still. I think one of them's still alive.
Yeah.
But yet we can't send anybody there now because of the what is that radiation belt they call it? Something or other.
Van Allen belt.
Yeah. So
Van
why
Allen.
can't? Yeah. So we can't go there now.
You can go through the Van Allen belt. You just can't So back then they didn't understand the Van Allen belt. They just sent pilots and astronauts up. They didn't care. Now they're a little bit more wary of sending people through a big radiation belt. Although
they just need to find the little special gold tinfoil that they used, and then we can go back.
If you see how China is doing their space program right now, they're doing what America did 50 years ago. They don't care about the dangers. Have you seen that their rockets land in like populated areas?
Wait, the best one. Wait, real quick, while we're talking about this, DXB, pull up India landed on the moon.
Yep.
Pull that up. Pull up India landed on the moon.
Yeah.
While we're talking about this, because that is the most comical thing I've ever seen in my life. It is comical.
Yeah.
I mean,
India was the first to try landing on the dark side of the moon, right? China recently tried that as well. Landing on the dark side of the moon has real complications because obviously the moon and Earth is tidally locked, right? So you only ever see one side of the moon, right, as it's going around the Earth, right? So to actually land on the other side is like super complicated.
There it is. Yes. Yep. So who was down there recording it?
Render.
That's just a render.
I think it's a render. I couldn't find the actual. Yeah, this is.
It was an unmanned, effectively unmanned probe, if I remember rightly.
So who was recording it? Let me ask you another question. Who?
Oh, on the other video, I know which one you mean.
Yeah, who's the guy? Who's the poor guy that got stuck on the moon recording them take off from the moon and go back to the?
That picture was took from the rover.
No, I'm talking way back. I'm talking.
Yeah. So when America went to the moon and you saw the capsule launch off of the moon, the video clip of that was recorded off the actual rover that they left there. The rover's still up there.
Okay.
It won't degrade. There's no moisture up there to degrade it.
Okay. One more question. So when they did shoot off of the moon, the rocket propulsion came off the part that stayed on the ground.
Yep.
And the little part lifted up.
Yes.
Which would not. It's impossible. We did not go to the moon.
Not necessarily, right? So I've actually seen a full scale replica of the moon lander and how they did it, right? So all that you have to do is build up enough momentum because there's no atmosphere wrapped around the moon. You don't need actually a ton of velocity to escape the moon's gravitational forces, like at all. There's very little. So what they did was they gave it a shunt, basically, which was firing the rocket on the holder, and then they just
but the platform didn't leave. The platform stayed there, but that's the part that shot the rocket out.
Yeah, it was just the capsule that came back.
Right. But the platform stayed on the moon.
Yeah.
When the rockets were on the bottom of the platform, but the platform didn't move.
I think that's because of the lesser gravity. It doesn't go
Yeah, it
from
reacts very
a launch
differently.
perspective, yeah, it doesn't take.
I think that's just because it's a whole bunch of shite.
The really interesting one, and the one that everyone always uses, is, oh, we can't see the stars in the pictures. And I can answer that one because that one's really easy to understand, right? It's because the cameras that were taking the photos were at like 15 frames a second.
It's
so you're not going to see the stars because it can't capture it fast enough to see them. So yeah, that's actually like proper science behind that. They actually did. Who was it that did it? There was Neil deGrasse Tyson did it. He actually did
Yeah,
a proper mathematical proof to show why the stars are shown.
Neil deGrasse
Yeah,
Tyson.
it's really cool.
He's a man of the system, right? Neil deGrasse.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse.
Oh yeah,
Tyson's
Ask him about that. Ask him about that vaccine. He's a moron. He's a moron.
Like,
guys, this is what we do when the market is red, yeah?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Exactly, yes.
The really fascinating one though from space travel is ion thrust technology, which is what they. So that you know that obviously there's Voyager 1 and 2 that are out there right now, right? They're like mega distance away from Earth now. They launched another one called Horizon, right? Uses an ion propulsion drive. So it actually will never run out of fuel, ever, at all in its life. It will never run out of fuel.
You know what? I have a question for you, Cliff.
Sure.
So if you look at where we've been in terms of our own system, and this is where I just always have this idea that we will never leave our neighborhood ever, right?
Yeah.
Like it will never be possible for man to exist in another planet, in my opinion. There may be a few suicide missions to Mars.
I think Mars is our biggest. Actually, I think colonizing the moon is easier than Mars.
That Mars will kill us. Like literally.
Mars is a big challenge because you think, right? It takes 9 months to get there, right? So it's not a quick trip. Right, even at the shortest, it's like 8.5 months, right? And that would be having to launch on a given day of the given year to get it to line up the trajectories perfect. Because you don't aim for where Mars is now. You have to aim for where Mars
it's going to be in the future.
Correct. Future, man.
So, like,
that's insane.
That's like hitting a bullseye that's a moving target and hitting it bang on. Like that's not easy. You've seen it recently with a few. People that have sent like probes to Mars, right? They've had all kinds of problems with it, right? But living on Mars should be fairly straightforward. I mean, we can send big ginormous 3D printers to go to Mars before anyone gets there and 3D print livable options, right? That's doable now. We've got that technology now. 3D print houses regularly, but
that's insane.
Getting all the equipment there is going to be the challenge before anyone gets there. It's going to be a nightmare just to get all the equipment there. Then you've got to obviously make sure that equipment is going to last a reasonable amount of time as well. It's the same with a moon base. The materials that they use to build have to last at least 10 years because you're not going to want to keep sending stuff to repair every time you're sending people because you're wanting to expand it. You're not going to want to keep repairing or replacing it. You're going to want to keep expanding it. The more expansion you get, the more people that can be there, the more people that you have on site, the easier things become. They reckon to sustain a proper civilization on Mars, you would need at least 1 million people to be there. Just to give you enough people to be able to do all the basic run-of-the-mill things. So engineers, design people, and everything.
Cliff, there's a comment for you, bro. That's brilliant.
No, technology is something that's always fascinated me, and the fact that you look at even just the ISS that's floating around up there now, right? Biggest achievement we've ever made, ISS was, right? Because it took 14 different countries, I think it was, to actually put that into low Earth orbit, right?
So wait, real quick. So why can we get along to do that,
Yeah, I
we can't
know,
get along
right?
here. That makes
Yep.
no sense to me. It's not that difficult. We all got together. We did this one big thing
You're absolutely
way
right.
away from the Earth, but we can't do it here.
Yep. And it was the US and Russia that did most of the ISS. Don't get me wrong, England and Canada and France and everyone else did actually help. But the two biggest primary people that got that up there was US and Russia. And they still to this day cooperate for ISS. But yet they diplomatically, apart from space, it's the only thing that they actually do work together with. Crazy.
Guys, how do you not know if this is the Sahara Desert? Right?
Actually, the place that they primarily use is like North Pole, not North Pole, just outside of North Pole, because it looks barren like Mars. It's like one of the driest places on Earth.
I know, right around the corner from my house, we got the pool where they landed on the moon.
I'm not moving there. I mean, you guys remember whatever happened to the Dutch guy who said he just started a website and all of a sudden he got like millions of dollars that was paid into him by basically idiots that wanted to go to be on that first mission to Mars. I mean, people were paying handsomely.
Look, I'll be the first one. If we had like a spaceship like Star Trek or something, I would go on that thing and just go to see what was out there.
No. Let's say this, right? So obviously they're going to open it up to people's registering to go, right? When they first start people going to Mars, right?
Okay, but can we all agree that Katy Perry is not an astronaut? Can we at least agree on that?
Would you sign up for it?
Would I sign up for what? To go with Katy Perry? No.
No?
Not for Katy Perry. No. She is not an astronaut.
Let's be honest, right? Jeff Bezos and his flying phallus.
Oh, I would go. Yeah. Right. No, I would go. 100%.
Because that's just a joyride. That's effectively a joyride, right? That's all that is, going into Earth. It's not even low Earth orbit. It's just enough over the Kármán line so that you actually are considered in space.
Okay, I know y'all saw the video when they supposedly landed, and they opened the door first, and then they closed it, and then he ran over there to like play like he was opening it up.
Yeah, honestly,
I mean, all of this is nonsense. It's all nonsense.
That's just publicity, right? And I get what Bezos is trying to do, right? He's trying to find an income stream that can fund him building larger, big main rockets, right? Like New Glenn. Which is great, right? I get the logic behind it, but calling that a space flight is like, calling going on a roller coaster a space flight. Like,
shit, man.
You get more time on a roller coaster than you do going up to space on that New Shepard. I think it's like the equivalent of less than 3 minutes total time up there, and then you're already back under Earth's gravity.
I mean, all that, and the only thing that they came out with was that I'm not going to say the bad words. Katy Perry holding a flower into a damn camera.
I saw the whole light kind of thing, and I'm now a changed person kind of.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, she was a little overboard. I mean, I love the fact. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact as a big Trekkie that William Shatner got a chance to go up there, right? Because he pioneered a whole generation of people thinking about space travel.
Shit.
Like, he was the epitome of that as Kirk, right?
Well, so that's what I'm saying. Like, if we had ships like Star Trek, I'd be on there in a heartbeat. Let's go.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're a way away from breaking light speeds. We're not even close. Not even close.
So, okay, there's no friction in space, correct?
Well, there's solar radiation which can cause friction.
No, what I meant, like, so if you're flying and you let off the engine, you're still going to keep going the same speed, correct?
Correct. You stay ballistic at that.
Okay, so theoretically, if you kept the engine on longer, wouldn't you just keep going faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster?
Yes, you would.
So at some point, we probably could pass light speed.
So, for example, getting to Mars could be as little as like 3 weeks. You would full on accelerate till halfway point, and then you'd have to basically be braking for the second half of the flight, because you'd be so fast that you would have to start braking at about the halfway point.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's what they did with New Horizon to get it to go really fast with the ion propulsion. They burnt that engine for like 3 months. They got it up to a crazy speed. But they can't go any quicker because the material they built it out of can't handle any faster.
The question is, why go to Mars when we've got Earth? Like,
I can understand the logic of how Elon Musk says it, to be multi-planetary, right? So big asteroid.
Yeah, but we don't even know what's in the bottom of most of the ocean.
Correct. We still don't even know what's. It's actually it's easier to go to space than down below because of the pressure. Because
it makes no sense to me. I'm sorry, that doesn't make any sense.
It's the so you saw what happened recently, right, with the submersible submarine.
Oh yeah, but those come on, really? They had a PlayStation remote control.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you built it with a PlayStation controller. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
what
the guy
was
waiting to die, basically. But you know, the thing is, pressure at that level of depth is infinitely harder than going to space. Going to space, you've only got to trap the pressure in, right? You've not got massive pressure differences like down in the ocean, where you're under 10 to 100 times the pressure of what it is on the surface. So, or at least that's from my understanding.
We'll end up mad, you know. We'll become like this.
Oh, dude, The Martian's a fantastic film, and a lot of it is actually scientifically correct. There is a fair number of it's not. However, you know where he does
I had no idea Jason Bourne went to Mars. Damn.
Yeah, I know, right? The funny thing is, you know he talks about how he needs to produce water, right? So that his crops can grow. And he says the easiest way, and we know how to make water, right, is to take oxygen and hydrogen and burn it, right?
Right.
Well, the story of that is actually really cool because he actually touches on it briefly. It's how rocket fuel was made. People at one of the like big universities was trying to make a more efficient and more combustible fuel, and they blew up the building. So instead of throwing them all out of university, they built them a new building way away from the main campus and told them to continue their research. That developed the very first rocket fuel. It's actually true. It's actually a true, legit bit of history, which is cool.
So, like, I mean, the stuff in this movie, and by the way, I agree with you. This is an incredible. I think this is one of the most unbelievable movies.
One of the best lines ever, where he says, "Eat the heart out," Neil Armstrong, where he says that he's effectively colonized Mars because he grew something on the planet. By the way, that's also accurate. The moment a single thing is grown in the soil, effectively it's been colonized. Because that's the purest definition of colonization.
Oh, be careful who you tell that to.
Yeah, I know, right?
Riots everywhere. Calm down. Yeah. Calm down.
It's really fascinating.
We're gonna have the pink hair people come out and destroy everything.
There is so much in the market that makes me laugh because it's so over embellished, but like him being launched up into it, where he tells them that I'm going to basically put a tarpaulin over the top of the rocket when he gets rescued, and they basically turn around and basically say to get him to buy into it, you're going to be the fastest man ever in the history. You're going to go faster than the fastest thing that's ever been launched. Like, who wouldn't say no to go in the record books as the fastest person ever?
You know what I find interesting, Cliff? And Cave, has anyone of you seen Interstellar?
Interstellar, yeah, absolutely, I have.
This one is mental. Like,
that whole thing was crazy,
dude. Gargantua, you know the render of Gargantua, right? That's scientifically accurate using proper science. They had a proper physicist on site on that movie to actually make sure the black hole and how it reacted with its environment was legit. Like it took 15 days of like a supercomputer just to render one frame of that gargantua because it was
That's
so heavy
insane.
on the processing. It's fascinating.
So if you had to go to a place, where would you go? Starting with cave, then cliff.
Oh, where would I go?
Apart from Earth, I mean, you know, if I had to go somewhere, I'd definitely go. I don't know. I'd probably end up in Avatar.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely say not. What's that? Europa? Isn't it? That's the Saturn moon, correct?
You're talking about Titan, the one around.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
the one around Jupiter.
Yeah, that's the one that's
Yeah.
like supposedly
Titan.
closest to.
Yeah, it's the one that they reckon's got the most water underneath the surface.
Right, or Centurion B, right?
Yeah, they reckon that it probably is the best case for other life forms, and it won't be like life forms that we believe like they look at.
Right.
Oh no, it's Saturn.
And then
sorry,
Centurion B, that's in the Andromeda's.
Yeah, there's also the one in
right?
Sagittarius, which is the one that's in what is it? Oh, is it the Sagittarius B cluster? That is where they found the new big exoplanet, closest exoplanet ever found to us, I believe.
And it's bigger. It's like twice.
Yeah, it's like 5 times the size of Earth. It's massive.
Titan made of hydrocarbons.
Sorry,
Titan that's full of petrol.
Well, a lot of hydrocarbons they found. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Titan.
And it's got an atmosphere as well, apparently.
Yeah, Titan's got a really dense atmosphere, though.
A lot of Bill Gates would love it out there. He could tax people for their carbon output. Let's do that. Let's send him and Anthony Fauci, and they can go play whatever they want to play out there.
That, by the way, bro, that was a real landing on Titan, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, they've landed. I mean, probes have landed on pretty much every planet in our solar system. Russia landed one on Venus. Didn't last very long.
Yeah. They got that. We got that one clear view of Venus. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing what a caveman knows.
Yep.
This was, I mean,
they
Venus
said that in like the 70s. Yeah.
The Russians are on some next level. And
yeah, they basically fired a ginormous ball at it. The actual like thing was like tiny inside that ball, but because of how heavy the pressure is on Venus, like it's like really hardcore to go to Venus.
So this is what we know. What do you think they're doing that we have no clue?
Whatever we know publicly, it's got to be at least 10 times better than what we.
So have y'all heard the name Laura Eisenhower? I know you've heard the name.
Heard the name.
Eisenhower.
Laura Eisenhower. Look her up. So she was President Eisenhower's great granddaughter, something to that effect. But she says that she was in this program where they teleported her to the moon.
She had a dream, bro.
Oh, it's craziness. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that would be pretty cool to just be able to step on a pad and get teleported like anywhere in the solar system.
Right, that's what she was saying. That's what she kept saying, that we have the technology, and then a year or two later, the government comes out and says that we have the technology. Now, look, I'm neither here nor there with that. I think that's a little fucking nutty. Excuse my language, but I think it still deserves a little bit of a inquiry.
Damn.
Oh, I mean, look at it this way. Whatever we think we know, I'm sure that there are black projects out there for every country that is way beyond whatever any of us could imagine. I mean, I don't think that we've probably even scratched the surface of things that are in the pipeline. I mean, DARPA, for example, right? Yes, that's a public entity in the US, but
it's really not.
Works is like considered one of the best in the planet for doing crazy crazy things, because DARPA has this really cool motto, right? So when you join DARPA and you get funded by DARPA, you have to create a physical product within 3 years, and it has to be physical. It can't just be on paper. It has to be built and tested. So how many projects do we not know about that DARPA's currently playing around in? Because I'm sure it's a lot.
Facts. And guys, by the way, I just realized it's approaching 1 a.m. Just so you know,
talking, you know what it's like.
Just so you know, guys, don't worry about the bull market is coming, right? And if it doesn't come, we're still going to the moon, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. We're following Gates and Fauci. We're going.
Absolutely brilliant stream by two legends. Thank you so much, brothers. Much love to you and the
no worries,
audience.
man. It's always a pleasure.
Let's do it again this week, man. Look, we want to uplift people. Forget the depression. Like over the long course of the liquidity cycle, we will make life-changing money, but just don't give it back to the market. Sell at any opportunity that gives you a financial sense. I think a lot of people don't realize how important it is just to press the button. But
it's also important to take profits when you can. Like if if you've already made some life-changing money, don't be scared to take some of that profit.
So on the topic of the market, there's no way that this bull run is over by any means.
Absolutely.
We have all these institutions in government that have bought major, substantial amounts of crypto. They're not going to let this be finished. Then we have midterms coming up next year with the most bullish government for crypto that we've ever had. So I think, like I said, I think we go to Q2. But if you the elections for midterms isn't to the end of next year. Right. So this super cycle that I know Elio Trades talked about a lot could actually be a thing.
Facts.
But either way, we're nowhere finished. It's not over, and we still have the craziest part of this cycle is on the way.
Absolutely. Now that's beautiful. That's a beautiful way to end. Cliff, Cave, let's do it again this week, guys. Let's keep everyone's energy up. At the end of the day, these are not just distractions. I think that was a great conversation that we've had tonight. We went from quantum computing to friggin' Interstellar to, Van Allen Bell.
Sometimes it's nice to not have to just constantly look at charts, right? Sometimes it's nice to just have a conversation.
Yeah, I actually forgot about the dump until you just pulled the chart back up.
Yeah,
thank you.
I had to know this is crypto, not Interstellar. We're talking about, Voyager 1 and 2. Right now, we're speeding ahead towards the nearest sun. And I think also as well, for people who just generally look at things in a one-dimensional sense, it's good to read, grab some books. I'm so happy, like both of you are absolutely stacked with knowledge. Cliff is unbelievable. Like, the stuff you're talking about there with greater nuances, and maybe we'll all have some lunch on Mars one day. But Cave said he's not going.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Cave said he's not going. But I do have the SpaceX's official page here, guys. And it just looks like Elon is selling this really hard. Look how cool it is. The next window will open in 2026.
I'm telling you.
And you know what? I could see them trying to have a go at it, like at least trying to get a ship up to Mars. I mean, he's already proven people wrong, that people said that you couldn't catch a rocket out of midair.
He's catching rockets with chopsticks.
Yeah, with chopsticks, effectively. Yeah, exactly. Not wrong, because that's what Elon dubbed them, chopsticks.
Right. Yes.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yep. Probably one of the most fascinating projects to watch and actually research is about Starship, what it's actually capable of doing now and what it's going to be capable of doing in the future. Like, it's probably the biggest leap forward for rockets in 40 years.
Well,
it's funny
this is
because
the most exciting time to be. It's kind of a scary time to be
100%.
alive with everything going on in the
100%.
world and everything. But it's also the most exciting time
From a
because
technology
this-
standpoint, 100%.
Right. This is the turning point for humanity that we're living
Yeah.
through right now.
Yeah, we're.
can I
we're
just
getting to-
remind you something, guys? If you remember back in, I don't know when this was, 07 or 05,
Yep.
when this movie came out, basically Tony Stark, right? Elon Musk is the fucking real Tony Stark.
Well, you know, Tony Stark, like Robert Downey Jr. said that he mimicked a lot of how Tony Stark is off of Elon Musk. Elon Musk even made a cameo in Iron Man 2.
That's right, he
Fuck.
did.
And he's
That's right, he did.
Yeah.
But that's unbelievable, man. Like, you got to give it to him. I mean, I don't know if it's the pot or whatever he smokes.
I mean, the
right?
thing is, right, we always end up with one of those geniuses in every generation, right? It's just whether they're allowed to do what their brain allows them to do, right? Like Tesla, for example, he was another person like Elon Musk, very eccentric, very wild theories. Okay, all of his theories didn't always pan out, which is very similar to Elon Musk, right?
But he did create
what
free
he
electricity.
brought to the table pushed understanding of technology on, and Elon Musk is doing the same.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
Einstein was another one like that, very eccentric. Like, if you read up about how Einstein was, most of his peers thought he was crazy at first.
Mm-hmm.
Until his theory started proving fact, and then suddenly he was like, you know, heralded as this genius that nobody ever really understood.
Well, this guy is doing anything from ride share. Like, look at
Oh,
this.
yeah.
You know, the details are just the
That
cost.
doesn't even include Starlink.
Yeah, he'll be having
Wow.
Ubers in space. You know,
You know, yeah.
like
Well, I
the
mean,
automated Tesla. I mean, he put a Tesla in space.
yeah. In theory,
There's a Tesla
like,
floating around in space somewhere.
yeah, it's on its way to Mars.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I mean, it's going to cost you your bull market gains, basically, right? You know, 10x your $32,000 portfolio, and then you just allowed. I mean, you're going to be measured as luggage.
Right.
Well, how about this?
400K
If everything
50
comes to
grand.
plan, right, we'll just buy ourselves our own version of a you know, a lad's night out, and we'll just go and rent a Starship for the night and go for a big old joyride
Yeah.
kind of thing.
And he's giving affordable rates. I mean,
Well,
this is
look,
you know
like,
that
It's like that
since-
TV show For All Mankind. That is
yeah,
a great
since,
show.
Falcon 9, where they started to reuse the rockets and land them and then repurpose them and reuse them, the price of sending stuff to orbit has gone down by a factor of 7 so far. And they reckon
Wow.
it'll be 10 by the end of 2026, that it'll be less. So, for example, SLS is $4 billion of R&D, and it costs them almost $1 billion every launch. Starship is only $125 million per launch, and it can put
That's insane.
way more to low Earth orbit than even SLS can. SLS was like the biggest, like, stupid idea in ever going. Why on earth they built a $1 billion rocket that's non-reusable is beyond me.
That's insane, guys. Guys, I've got to go to bed, but
No worries,
my
buddy.
school run in the morning. I'm taking Princess to school, and I'm going to ask my daughter on the way to school, are we alone?
Right, yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
good question. That's a great question.
Let
That's a lovely
us
question
know
to
her
wrap up.
answer. Because kids always have the best answer to everything.
Yeah, because they don't overthink things. They
Exactly. They just say what they think. Yep. Exactly.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
fellas. Y'all be careful. Y'all have a good night.
Yep.
Later, guys.
Right now, Cade is calling us from Mars. It looks like honestly, the way the line is breaking, I feel like you've already taken off, bro.
Secretly, he's just a caveman that's living in a cave on the moon, really,
That's
right?
pretty much it. That is pretty much it, man.
The lunar regolith.
Yeah.
All right, guys. God bless you all. That's a great question. We'll probably start another show with that question in mind, to be honest, because that's a deep one.
That's a
But anyway,
rabbit hole and a half.
lots of love, everyone.
Later,
Guys,
fellas.
God bless you. 2 hours and 30 minutes we've done. Incredible. Thank you so much, Cliv. And my brother, I
No worries,
will
buddy.
I will definitely see you on the next live stream.
Absolutely. I'll see you soon.
Thank you for all the
Take care.
value you've given us, man. Take care. And regards to the missus.
Will do.
Cheers, bro. Take care. Good night. Good night, everyone.